And I'm watching I'm going to try to watch the comments over here on my laptop. So if you can hear me, let me know that early. I've got my DJI mic again, and I hope I'm connected okay. And I also have something for my throat today, so we can go from there. Just a couple of quick things. I try to always do this up front, and that is that during this live stream, I have turned monetization off, so hopefully you're not bothered by ads. And then when this is done and it's a recording, I'll turn monetization back on. I think we've had over 1,000 views on Tuesday's live stream, which is phenomenal. So thank you all for stopping by and taking a look. Yeah, so I'm just waiting to see somebody putting up here that I'm actually being heard. Let me get my laptop over here just a little bit. Uh, and it looks like we have 15 people so far. That's fantastic. Let me know in the comments how you're doing today. How is everybody getting along? It's been a wild couple of days back in the States, I think, and it's been very nice not being there. So that's about all I can tell you. Um, so just quickly, I finished up in Rome and came up here to Florence today, and I put the video up um, so that it will go up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that is sort of the train ride, which there's a long story about the train ride. um, and I went down to the is it Ponte Vecchio Bridge? I always forget how to pronounce that. So that'll be in the video tomorrow, along with I don't know if any of you have ever heard of lampredotto. That is a signature food dish in Florence. Um, oh man, we got people from everywhere here. Let's see. Oh, you're in Florence too. Fantastic. Yeah, so I was looking for specifically, and it's in the video for tomorrow in case you've never heard of this, but I was looking specifically for a lampredotto for lunch today. And I asked the guy at the hotel where he could send me that would be sort of authentic. I don't want to get something, that wasn't going to be really showing me what Florence could do. And so he and another guy there, gonna, okay, he and another guy there at the desk, they started jabbering on in Italian, and I was like, "You do understand that I don't understand Italian, right?" And they laughed, and they told me where to go, and I went there. So if you don't know what lampredotto is, it is a cow's stomach. It's a particular stomach. It may be the second stomach, I don't remember, but it's a particular stomach. And it's boiled. And so it's really soft, and they pull it out, they cut it up, and you can either have it as a plate or you can have it as a sandwich. I chose a sandwich. And when they cut the bun in half, um, they sort of tear out a little bit from the top piece. Then they dip that down um, into the broth, and so that little hollowed out place just kind of folds over the meat. There's a couple of sauces there that are like chili kind of sauces, so it's got just a little bit of a bite to it. Um, yeah, that Rob, that's the same thing that my middle daughter said. But I'm going to tell you, it sounds awful, but I'm going to tell you, it is really, really good. And if you're ever in Florence, you need to look it up and give it a try, um, because it's really a well-known sandwich here, and it's one of the things that Florence is most known for is this sandwich. And So yeah, I got to try that today, and I'll be honest with you, I could have it every day. It was that good. Um, so tomorrow is when I have my ticket to go to the top of the Duomo, and it's just, I mean, it's just right outside my window. Um, so in fact, I don't know. Let's just try something while I'm doing this. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna turn this camera around, I think. So there is the Duomo, and right up there, you can't see it for the reflection, but way up there is the dome itself, where I will be going up tomorrow. And I did just want to give a quick shout out to all the people, and pretty much all of the people that are here are following me over on the New Retired Me channel. But if you remember several months ago when this trip was sort of in the making and I was trying to decide where to stay, and I narrowed it down to three choices, and I put those choices out online and I asked people to kind of vote. And oh, excuse me, it's almost my bedtime here. And they overwhelmingly chose this hotel because of that view. And I have to say it was the right choice. I'm about a 10-minute walk from the train station, and I am a 10-minute walk to Ponte Vecchio. Um, and so, I'm centrally located to everything. And I'm tomorrow at some point I'll probably look for a really good gelato shop. I did stop and get some gelato today, but it's not what I want. Um, and so the other thing, I think tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, um, I'm going to try to make it tomorrow. There is a hilltop on the other side of the river with a church up there, and it's a sort of a courtyard dedicated to Michelangelo, and it has this beautiful, beautiful view out over Florence. Not too many, Sophia, not too many steps today. I've spent the last 2 days getting about 20,000 both days, and today it was closer to about 10,000. So um, maybe I'll get a lot of flights tomorrow, a lot of stair flights tomorrow when I climb up to the top of the Duomo. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I have been up there before. It's not my first time. When I came to Florence several years ago with a school tour, there were a few of us who braved the climb up there, and the view is just, oh, it's staggering. So, if, excuse me again, I hope I don't spend the whole live stream yawning. That's really bad. I didn't get a nap today, so it's getting rough. And I took a couple of pictures from there. I printed one that I have in my house somewhere, but I think I took it down off the wall to replace it with a picture of my kids. So I don't have it up anywhere. But the view is just wonderful, and so I'm looking forward to that. That's I think at 9:30 in the morning or 9:15 in the morning maybe. Um, so I've got that going on tomorrow, and there are a couple of churches that I've sort of bookmarked a few places, and there are a couple of churches that I hope I can get to while I'm here, um, that have some really, really interesting artwork, and so we'll see if we can do that on um, tomorrow's Friday, and see if we can do that on Saturday, and then Sunday I'll go back to Rome, and and then Monday I do the Keymaster tour, and Tuesday I fly home, and I'm done. I was just thinking about that today. It's a 9-day trip, and I'm only actually in towns 5 days because everything else is a travel day. not too bright on my part. So I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up with the chat over here. So we got several people here from all over again. So welcome. Um, I don't know if you've got any questions. And one thing I will say that sort of struck me as odd today. I posted a screenshot on Instagram a few days ago where the channel finally hit 55,000 subscribers. I was really sort of over the moon with that, and I watched it go to 55,001, 55,002, and then a day or two later it was 54,993, and today it's down to 54,950 something, and so I don't know what's going on with the subscriber count. It took a wrong turn somewhere. And that can either be that, the last few videos I posted, people are not really excited about, which I understand. It's not my typical video stuff, but it could also be that YouTube's cleaning out a few bot accounts that don't exist. Who knows? YouTube giveth, YouTube taketh away. That's the algorithm. The story of my train journey. I will go ahead and tell you today, since you're here. It is in the video for tomorrow, but I messed up. It's not the first time I've messed up, but I messed up. And this is one of the things that I talked about when I was going around Rome and the stuff I wanted to see wasn't available. If I had brought my family here, or if I was traveling with friends and I said, oh, I want to take you to these really cool places, whatever, and then they were closed, I would have been devastated. But because it's just me, it's like I just go with the flow. And today is another one of those days that if I'd had people with me and I made the mistake I made today, I would have been devastated. But today it was just like no big deal. So I went to the train station in Rome, and I had this ticket. I had a first class ticket on the train, on the fast train, 90-minute train from Rome to Florence. And I was looking on the ticket board, and I didn't see Florence, and I didn't see the terminating of Villa, which is the terminal here in Florence. But I saw something that in my brain clicked to be Florence. And it was the right time. It was the time my ticket said I was supposed to leave. So I get on this train, and the ticket lady comes by, and she scans my ticket, and she says, thank you, and she moves on. And so I just close my eyes. I'm getting ready to take a nap. And suddenly we're pulling into a station, and we're not supposed to be pulling into a station. And so I pulled up Google Maps, and I'm back at the airport. Now, why didn't this lady tell me I was on the wrong train? So anyway, I got off the train at the airport. I went back to the ticket station. I bought a ticket back to Rome, and I bought another ticket to Florence. They weren't expensive. I think it cost me like 60 or 70 bucks or something, but that's 60 or 70 bucks I didn't want to spend. So especially because my first class ticket was cheaper than that. My first class ticket I bought for like 22 or 23 euros because I bought it so long ago. Anyway, I finally did make it. But the lesson to be learned is that the place that you're going is not always going to be on the board. It's the final stop that's on the board. And Florence was not the final stop. So always, always, always look at what is my train number, just like I'm looking at what is my flight number, what is my train number, and look for the train number, and then go there. Anyway, I got here about an hour and a half late, um, and that kind of messed up my afternoon a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, yeah, that's the story of today. And again, you can just kind of skip through that part tomorrow in the video. Let's see, who else we got here? Uh, yeah, I am going to go up there. Who said that? I don't know who said that. I can't, my eyes don't read that small print that far away. I am going to go up there. It's just a matter of, is it going to be tomorrow or is it going to be Saturday? But I'm going to plan on tomorrow, because you never know what's going to happen on Saturday. And so if I can get it done tomorrow, that'll be great. And I'm trying to concentrate on just little out of the way places to eat. And one of the things I want to find while I'm here there are still a few that operate, and that's a wine window. It's just a window in the side of a building, and you order your wine through there, and they just stick it out through the window. They used to do that years and years and years ago, and these things are ancient. And then some of them were able to continue operating through COVID, because they weren't breathing on anybody. I just think that's cool, you know. So I'm looking for, I've got a few YouTube videos earmarked of places to eat. I'm going to go back through those again and kind of, see if I can find them on the map and go from there. See which ones are close enough. Yeah, I just walked around the Ponte Vecchio today, and it's gorgeous over there. It's way out of my price range, but it's gorgeous over there. So, um, the Taj Palace. I haven't had Indian food in a long, long time, so I'll look that up. I don't know where that is, but I'll look that up. Um, Now that I've already had my lampredodo, I've already had the signature dish I wanted to have, so everything else is just gravy. The other thing that Florence is known for is their tomahawk steaks, but they are like 3 pounds. And as badly as I would love to eat a 3 pound steak, it's not going to happen. So I won't be having that while I'm here either. Um, so yeah, that's kind of, I haven't really done anything here yet. I was here, um, man, it just gets longer and longer ago. Probably 10 years ago now. Might have been more than that. With the EF tour group that brought our kids from the Ellen and STEM Academy over here. And at that time, I was able, there was a chaperone spot open, and I was able to sign my youngest daughter up as a chaperone and pay $200 for her to come over here. So we traveled over here with the kids together and walked around Florence. And so I've been to some of these places, but I haven't been across the river. We didn't get over there. And so I'm looking forward to going across the river, because that, from what I've researched, that's mainly where the people in Florence live, is over there. And so all of the more local restaurants are on that side of the river, and all of the tourist kind of restaurants are on this side of the river. And so I'm hoping maybe over there I can find a gelato shop that I'm looking for. Again, I sound like a snob, I know, but the locals who do YouTube videos about where to eat and things to do in Italy, and especially in Florence, talk about the fact that when you see these gelato shops where the gelato is just piled high and it's real shiny, that's not good gelato. The good gelato shops have the gelato covered, and it's got kind of a matte finish. And I didn't see any of that on this side of the river, so I'm hoping I can see it on the other side of the river, because I'd love to take you to a really, really good, I'd love to take me to a really good gelato shop. Um, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm not doing any shopping. I'm not wandering around. What I am doing is working on these photography tutorial videos. So I've been taking a lot of pictures and getting some video footage for that, and hopefully I can put all that together when I get home. Uh, so I just kind of wander sometimes to find interesting things to take pictures of, and getting a sort of a stockpile of images for that. And so that's between doing these videos and working on those videos. That's really, what I'm here doing, and enjoying all the sights and walking around and seeing everything I want to see at the same time. And it just all kind of works together. When I do the Keymaster tour, I will probably video that with my Pocket 3 and put that up on the new Retired Me channel rather than this channel. And I'll do a separate video from that part of Rome for this channel before I come home. So at least that's sort of what I've got in my head, because I'm not doing any videos really for the new Retired Me channel while I'm here, except I want to do that video and kind of go from there. Yeah, the tomahawk steaks are definitely a family meal or a group meal situation. Um, but if you find any videos that show that on YouTube, it's amazing. They just look amazing. Um, so yeah, they know how to cook a steak. Do you have any questions for me today? I mean, I'm just kind of meandering on here. I don't expect this to be a very long live stream, because I don't have a lot. You've already seen this morning. You've already seen what I did yesterday, so there's not much point talking about it. Um, let's see. Yes, the weather is absolutely beautiful. So I was going to bring two long sleeve merino wool shirts because in the mornings I figured I'd be cold. And the first morning I cut that back to one when I saw what the temperatures were going to be. And I wore it the first morning I went out to get pictures at sunrise. And man, I was too hot. So I'm going to come back to that question about light packing. Um, I was just too hot, so I packed it away in the backpack, and I'm not going to wear it again. I mean, in the afternoons there are still people here wearing T-shirts, and women are wearing shirts with no sleeves, and everybody seems to be comfortable. And there's no rain, so it's just been amazing. As far as the packing goes, the packing. Hey, Mom. Yeah, I saw that the doorbell rang, so I kind of figured they were there. Um, the packing has gone really well with one minor glitch. And the glitch is that the hotel in Rome and this hotel do not have irons. So at the hotel in Rome, I was able to send my shirts to a dry cleaner and get them pressed. I don't know if I can do that here or not. And just packing them up this morning and carrying them up here and then taking them out again, they are really, really wrinkled. And so I'm probably just going to have to wear wrinkled shirts. So if I could have brought just a little bit of a bigger bag and packed some other kind of shirt to wear. Um, this would have been a great time probably just to pack some t-shirts and wear the t-shirts. But you live and learn. So other than that, I've got everything I need and everything's packed up okay. Um, I made one small minor change, and that is I was going to put the uh, Ulanzi MT-79 on the outside and strap it to the backpack with a carabiner. But I was able, because all the bags are flexible inside, I was able to just kind of move it a little bit and put that actually inside the backpack so it's not hanging off anywhere. So it's been really easy to maneuver and move around, and traveling by train has been wonderful. I have watched couples with 4 roller bags, each of them trying to pull 2 bags to the train station, and I'm thinking, you poor, poor people. I mean, I get that if a roller bag is what you want to use, I get it. But man, 1 bag, please, just one. Um, because I'm going to be honest with you, if you've never been over here, you don't want a roller bag on cobblestone streets. You just don't, and they're everywhere over here. Um, some type of backpack packing is preferred if you can carry it. If not, drag the bag. But yeah, and I will probably never try to pack this light again. This is really a challenge to myself to do this. And now that I know it can be done, it really doesn't need to be done again. If I had, I bought these new Carhartt t-shirts. Let's see. Um, oh, 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, let's see. Uh, yeah, it sounds like you've had a full day already. So I'll wave at you from the top of the Duomo tomorrow. Um, yeah, so I have some of these Carhartt t-shirts that I bought, and if I brought a little bigger bag that had room for those, I could just be wearing those today and not even worry about these shirts and whether they were ironed or not ironed. So, um, it is what it is. Um, any other questions? No? Okay. We're coming up on about 30 minutes, and I'm not going to just sit here and blather on and on. Oh man, yeah, I'm going to tell you that cheesecake. I, I go over there almost every. In fact, I would get next time I go to Rome, I may get a hotel close to that bakery and just go out of there. Um, my favorite flavor of gelato. Well, I haven't had good gelato in a long time, and I am kind of a vanilla guy. Um, but I had a little scoop of the tourist kind of gelato today, and I chose the salted caramel. Um, that's really good. They had something with tiramisu. They had some Oreo cookie. They had several other things, mango. That they have all kinds of stuff, but that those are the anything with coffee in it. Um, or the salted caramel is always a favorite of mine. So, um, well, welcome back. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put one in there and tomorrow when I take my shower in the morning and see what happens. I don't know that it'll be enough time to help, but the other things I guess related to the packing that I didn't touch on is that I have done laundry once here in Rome. And so I washed a couple of t-shirts and a couple of pairs of underwear and a pair of socks and hung them up to dry. They were dry the next morning. I'll probably wash some more tomorrow, and then I'll wash some more when I get to Rome. Um, and I can almost come home with all of my clothes clean and not have to do any laundry when I get home. I'll have a couple of things, but not much. Um, so, I did that when I went to Scotland with the family. I washed some clothes there, and so I knew what that was kind of like. And it's really easy to do that. Italian coffee. Okay, now we got the next 30 minutes. um, I like the fact that unlike the United States, not everything has to be ginormous. In getting coffees, you know, they talk about going with if you go to the bar. Now in the United States that means one thing, but over here the bar is a coffee shop, and so people will go in and order a cappuccino or they will order an espresso, and then they will go drink it at the bar. And so that's what I have done until this morning. I got a table, but um, typically, it's one price if you drink it at the bar. And if you go outside to sit at a table and they have somebody come and wait on you, the price is higher, but the higher price is that they've built in the cost of the waiter. So they still don't expect you to tip. They're charging you a little more and they're paying the waiter out of that charge. Um, so the cappuccino that you get is not as big as most places. Now, there are a few places in Chattanooga that serve a more traditional, smaller cappuccino. Rembrandt's that I've gone to up in the Bluffview Art District is one. Um, but a lot of places they want to give you this big cup of milk, basically. Um, and that's not the way that they drink it over here. You can drink a cappuccino in about 90 seconds and it's gone because it's all about the espresso. It's not about the milk. Um, and so it's just really, really, really good. Now, if I just want black coffee, then I order an Americano, which is an espresso with water. Um, it's not Nescafe. It's an honest to God espresso. And instead of milk, they just add water. And that's really good. But um, it's a different kind of coffee drinking culture. And one of the things that I kept hearing in or seeing in YouTube videos is there is sort of an unwritten rule in Italy that you do not drink a cappuccino after 11 in the morning. Um, and so they will look at you really weird if you want a cappuccino in the afternoon, and they may even refuse to serve it. I don't know. And it has something to do with the way the dairy sits on the stomach, and um, it's like I was talking about when I went up to get an aperitivo, and they give you all this stuff to go with your drink at no additional charge because that is the time to open the stomach before you have dinner later in the evening. It's a different way of life, um, and I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's different than being in the United States. So, and again, if you want, like when I was walking out of the train station, there were signs to Five Guys, signs to McDonald's. I mean, if you want those things, they're here. I choose not to want them. All right. Any other questions? Looks like I've got about 30, almost 40 people on right here. Um, I could probably do that here. The window opens. Yeah, you're exactly right. They drink it and go. There is no sitting around the coffee shop for an hour talking with friends. They just don't do that. Um, and you know, I kind of like that. I mean, I don't sit around coffee shops talking with friends anyway, but I kind of like getting it over with, you know. Now, and also, I mean, I like going to Panera in the morning, get my laptop out, do a little writing, do a little internet searching, um, you know, plan stuff out for the various YouTube channels, and slowly going through a black coffee. I mean, I like that. But here, that's just you just learn that's not the way it's done, and they want you to get in, get your coffee, get out, and it is a nonstop line of people. You know, how did I find the people? So yes, they are extremely friendly. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I stayed at the DoubleTree um, in Monty, Hilton DoubleTree in Monty. And I really didn't know what to expect. The DoubleTree is not an expensive Hilton hotel. It's kind of a midline Hilton. And I'm going to say if it's not the best hotel experience I've ever had, it's at least in the top three, largely due to the people. They were wonderful. The people behind the front desk, the waitresses at the restaurant, the barista at the coffee bar. I mean, just I could not have asked for people to be any nicer to me, and took care of everything that I needed. Even to the point of getting these shirts ironed that I needed ironed after I'd missed the deadline. They were like, "Oh, just let me make a phone call. Let me see what I can do," and they got it done. Um, and so, yes, the people here have been wonderful. Now, if you go into, let me come back to that language barrier question here in just a minute. When you go into a place like a coffee bar, they're in a hurry. They're not going to smile. They're not going to, you know, they're not going to ask you what your name is or how your day's going. They want to know what you want to drink. They want to take your money. They want to send you down to the bar. They want to make the drink. They want to see you drink it, and they want to see you leave. But they're not rude about it, you know. um, the language barrier. So that has come up a couple of times. When I went to get the cheesecake in the Jewish Quarter, that lady did not speak English. She had no reason to learn to speak English. And so, you know, I kind of pointed to what I wanted, and she wanted to know, did I want a slice or did I want the whole thing? We did a lot of hand gestures. And because at first I said, I just want one slice, and she didn't know what that meant. She said, no, 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 this or this. um, and then it came up again when I went to get the Lampredoto today because that guy, I mean, this is a hole in the wall shop, and that's all they sell. And there were three tables that seat two people, three tables inside and three tables outside, and that's it. Because most people buy that sandwich and walk down the street with it. And he did not speak English. And so it was a lot of pointing. We got the point across. I even, you know, pointed to my camera to ask him if it was okay if I videoed him while he was making the sandwich. He kind of went. So he didn't say no. um, yeah, Rob, we have in Chattanooga, we have a place called Milk and Honey that's been open for a few years now. And it started as a gelato shop. Now it's got a lot more offerings now. They do, you know, breakfast and bagels and stuff, but they make their own gelato right there in Chattanooga. And I think they were supplying restaurants. Um, Lori, so yeah, I talked about this earlier, but I don't mind telling you again. The Lampredoto is it is a signature sandwich in Florence, and so it is a cow's stomach that has been boiled, and then they chop it up really, really small. And there's like all kinds of stuff in the broth. There's all kinds of vegetables in the broth for flavoring. And then they take this sort of a hard roll kind of bun and slice it in half. They pull out a little bit out of the top piece and dip it in the broth and then close the sandwich. And they have a red sauce and a green sauce, and they're both kind of a chili sauce. It has a little spice to it. Some people don't get the sauce. I did. Um, a lot of people in the comments earlier were already turned off as soon as I said cow stomach. But I'm going to tell you, if you come to Florence, you're going to want that sandwich. It was that good. Um, I'm not a big weird kind of eater, but I do like to try new things. And even if I don't like them, at least I tried them. And the Lampredotto was a win. It really went well. Um, no, it's not anything like bacon. No, because the way it's cooked, it almost melts in your mouth. Um, it's just really soft. Where bacon would still have sort of a chewy tendency to it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you'll see it in tomorrow's video if you are watching the daily videos over on the Life in Motion Diaries channel. Um, yeah, a little bit. I knew coming over that the fountains were going to be covered. Um, have I had dinner yet? I don't think I'm having dinner today. I had that sandwich really late in the afternoon, and then I had a little bit of gelato after that, and I think I'm done for the day. Um, so yeah, I mean, I knew that the fountains would be covered up. I didn't realize that the Trevi fountain was going to be completely shut down, but um, I, I, I wasn't surprised. Um, my biggest disappointment was that practically the entire church where the Caravaggio paintings I wanted to see was closed. I mean, they had plywood up everywhere. That was disappointing. I do know over here, the Duomo is basically two buildings. There's the church with the dome, and then there is, um, I guess it's like, I don't even know what they call it. It's escaping my mind at the moment. There's a separate building that's where the Medici family is all buried, and some other famous people are buried there as well. And there is this beautiful artwork on the ceiling, and I did know that they've got a lot of that covered up and scaffolding up. So I know when I go in there, it's not going to be what I hoped I would see. Um, but you just kind of go with it. I mean, there's so much other stuff to see and do that to not to get hampered by the little things. And like I said a while ago, if I had been like, a couple of friends of mine, hey, let's all go to Italy, and hey, let's go down here. I've been here before. I really want to show you this. And then to go there and it not be there, that would have been really disappointing. But to be here on my own, I just like shrug my shoulders and move on and go find something else. And so, yeah, I mean, even over here on the Duomo, they've got a lot of it covered up. And what's interesting is they cover it up with a mural of the building, so it looks like the building. But there are things covering it because they're working on restoring sections of outside the building, which I understand here is a 24/7 deal for this building. They have stonemasons and other places that are nearby. That's all they do is redo stuff on the outside of this building to make sure that it always looks beautiful. Um, and that's artwork in itself, honestly. So, dreaming about food. I almost always dream about food. There is a really interesting piece, and I hope that I can see it in this separate building. They had hired Michelangelo to do a sculpture for one of the family members. I think I have this story right. And he was in the middle of that sculpture when the Pope got him to come down and paint the Sistine Chapel. It may be that the Pope had him come down and paint the final wall of the Sistine Chapel. I don't really remember this story entirely. But there is a Michelangelo sculpture in there that's not finished. And I just think that would be amazing. You know, he never got back to it. And so I don't remember if he'd had a falling out with the Medicis or if there were no more money left or just exactly what it was. But I'll have to go back. I'll go to my Perplexity AI and ask that question tonight, so I know that answer when I go through the building tomorrow. Somebody asked me if I do another video on AI, and I will because it interests me. It won't get any views, but I don't care. Perplexity.ai is my new artificial intelligence of choice. It is unbelievable. So we'll talk about that in another video. You know, most of the time I'm easygoing. There are some times I'm not so easygoing. So don't let this YouTube veneer fool you. I have my moments. All right, I've been talking about shutting this down now for the last 20 minutes, so I think we're at a little over 45 minutes now. Oh my goodness, I've still got 52 people online. So let me ask one more time: are there other questions that you have that you'd like for me to talk about while we're here? And then we'll be done, maybe. So let me ask this question, and you can either leave me a comment here in the live comments if you want to. But I've thought about doing a couple of live streams just out on the street, just unannounced. Pull up a live stream, show people where I'm at, walk around, show them around. I haven't done that yet, but if that's something that would be of interest, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can give it a try. My eSIM card is working great, so I don't have to have Wi-Fi, and I could easily do that on the spur of the moment. I just don't want to overwhelm people with stuff, and I would do them here on this channel as opposed to the Life in Motion Diaries channel. Those videos are getting really long. You know, the video for tomorrow I think is about 20 minutes long. I'll try to do them in the afternoon if I do. That way most people in the United States are up and people in Europe are still up, and that seems to be a better time. So yeah, I'll try to do something tomorrow. Maybe I could live stream when I get up to the top of the mountain going up to the Michelangelo Plaza up there. Maybe I'll have a cell signal up there still. So yeah, I'm just kind of thinking that even if somebody came back later and watched them, and they wouldn't be long, 15, 20 minutes maybe, just show you around, talk a little bit, get out of the way. I think I'll plan on that. At least I'll try to plan on that. No promises, but I'll try to plan on that. Okay, I'm going to let everybody go because it's now, what time is it here? It's 3 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock. It's about time for me to go to bed. And then tomorrow it's back up again and go out and take some pictures and work on that stuff. And then the Duomo tour, and then back to doing pictures again, and then going up on the other hill. I have to do that early in the afternoon since I want to go through that church too. So, and I want to be up there at sunset. So I'll try to get all that done before sunset tomorrow. Um, so yeah, thank you all so much for always showing up. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye-bye.